So when I failed in my first year of college, I was like, completely shattered, I would say. But luckily, I didn't go into a depression. I didn't go into drugs. I didn't go into any kind of other rubbish. But I really took it on myself that I want to do and prove to myself that I'm not capable of. And I think that one big kick on my ass that I got, that really changed a lot of things about my life. I remember going for a haircut to someone who sits under a tree. And this is exactly after I failed in that first year of college. And I said, "Humko wo bhaiya cut do, ekdam short haircut." Because at that point in life, I completely lost everything that I thought was the norm. It was a normal life. I had a beautiful family, brought up in a very sheltered home. But when this failure happened, it was completely like, oh my God, मैं बुद्धू थोड़ी हूँ, मैं dumb थोड़ी हूँ. So I really took it on myself that I want to prove to myself that no, I am not capable. Along with that, I got a lot of other naysayers saying, you're a woman. And, way back in that time, there were not many women who were working. If you were working, then it was because you needed a job and you needed to run your house. But in our kind of a community, there were no women who were working at that time. So for me to go out to a Nagpara, I don't know if you're from Mumbai, or to a Crawford market to buy my raw material was like, when I was 17 years of age, my parents used to say, you're not going there alone. So luckily, they used to come with me. All of that path, I kept going, whether it be for raw materials, whether it be for all the things that they say women can't do, go out to the markets. I remember once I was in a market buying some plastic for monsoon handbags, and I suddenly realized I fainted because the smell of the plastic was so atrocious. And when I woke up, I was like, oh my God, what is this? There were even times like I used to carry my bag and I left it down and I'm sitting across the table and, talking to him about the rate and itna meter dena and on. And suddenly I looked down and my bag is gone. 5,000 rupees the usme gaye. And 5,000 rupees at that time was a big enough amount because, when you're just starting up. So there were so many people telling me that, my mom was always brought me up and my parents say, "Tenu ki karna hai? Roti banani hai." That was the culture at that time. And that was what I was born and brought up for. But when I failed, luckily I remember that one stitching class she had sent me to. I had only gone for part of the stitching class. We learned how to cut a petticoat. Okay, so I knew a basic cutting. So when I flunked and I said, I got to do something. My college said that you can't be coming back here because you don't have space for, you can come back next year and give the exam. I was like, what do I do with myself this whole year? Luckily, I did 2 classes in the same college, screen printing and interior design. And in the screen printing class, I had this idea that, you get all these T-shirts with graphics. Let me do a handbag, just plain canvas, rope handle. And I remember the first bag I made was I'm confused with the S ulta. So it was saying everything that my mind was, in my communication, in my designing. And from then, to coming to the kind of handbags that we made today is a long journey. When I went more into the industry of handbag making, by the way, when I went back to that college and gave the exam the next year and finished the textile designing, I got a Maharashtra State Art Award. I mean, I beat the JJ School of Art kids. And JJ is like, in India or in Mumbai, you can't beat the JJ guys. They are so creative. It's like, they just draw like, you're like, oh my God, what is this? So anyways, coming back to today's day, there have been many pitfalls, there have been many learnings, but it's been such an interesting journey. When I went into the industry of handbags, I realized that most people are just going to China and picking up stuff. And you just go there for a week. It's also a holiday for the corporate world. You can go to any store and say, "Isme 20 piece dena, isme 200 piece dena, isme 1000 piece dena." You can tweak it, you can change the color, you can do little things and put your label and you're a brand. But when I saw that happening, I didn't know much about economy way back then. But today I'm glad because I made the decision that no, I want to learn. I want to always learn, whether it be tech today, whether it be handbag making the other day. Because I know that learning or Ma Saraswati is everything. When you're on the learning curve, there is never a going wrong. We are never dependent on someone else. And so I decided to manufacture in India. Also, there was at the back of my mind, utni buddhi nahi thi tabhi, but there was at the back of my mind that, when you're getting something from China, you're helping the economy of their country. Today, I understand it much more clearly than I would at that time. But I know that it's been a long journey, and I think it's been very, very fruitful making in India. Post-COVID, we had boom sales because we are the only brand making in India. And today, we are very proud to say that we can make as good quality as the Chinese people at the same pricing. So I think we really reached out there. And this all came from so many people telling me at that point, no, you can't make in China. I mean, you can't breed industries, right? There are, like if you look at, the electronic industry, you look at toys, and you look at so many industries, everything is just run by the Chinese who have the whole, the whole world coming there, right, to buy from them. So it is, obviously, the volumes is so easy for them. But I really took it on myself, where they're saying, you're a woman, you can't do it, you have house responsibilities, and, you can't beat the Chinese. So many things like that. How can you be profitable in retail? There are big guys who have deep pockets. But I think that one kick on my ass that I got when I flunked in the college, and I went and had that haircut, and I said, no, I don't care. I think at that point, my gear shifted to, I don't care what anyone thinks about me. I don't care about anything. I just care for what I want to do in my life. And for me, what I want to do in my life was only one thing. I want to prove to myself that I can make it. I can do it. I can do anything that I wish I can want to do. So till today, I use the whole art of creating what I want in my mind, seeing Baggett as an international brand. I know jahan, all the Oxford streets, everywhere where I have gone shopping, the Champs-Élysées, I know that I'm going to be putting up our products over there. Why is it that only the Zaras and the H&Ms and all the brands from the UK can come to our country? Where is our Indian brand, Bera? And I know Baggett is going to be there helping in the Indian economy doing this. And in all of this, it's always been, I think, the factor of resilience. Like, bahut baar hota hai, like I fall, but I know that I can come back because you're still, your mind is on what I want and what I want to create. And when I'm clear that I want to create an economy for India, a better economy, a better world, more, work for Indian, where we have such amount of manpower we have in India, which we are not really deploying. If you go to the villages, they have no work. They have no way that they can even earn 5,000 rupees so that they can stay in their village. They have to come to the towns and to the cities. So that is the dream that I live for India. And knowing that all of this happens in the mind. All of this happens when you think it again and again, you say it again and again, and you create it. And things will happen. Bumps will come on the road. It's not like things will never happen differently than what you think. But when you know in the long run, everything is going to be good, there is a power to the universe that I have created, and you can also learn how to create, whether it be through being silent and meditative, whether it be spending time with yourself, journaling, whether it be being in that space of, getting motivated by some friends or some motivational speaker, whatever way you need to bring yourself together to create what you want. Because I'm saying if Baggett can create a brand made in India, which no one is doing, there is not a single person who is manufacturing in India. They all are going and getting stuff. I'm saying if we can do something like that and be prosperous for the last 40 years, be the largest brand selling in the online, offline space, I think anything is possible. It is not like it is difficult or not possible at all. Besides this, I think being a woman, you would say that, is it not difficult? But I think things just fall into place. Like I went into a family where, like, I don't think my mother-in-law even told me to make a cup of coffee. There was always, understanding that, okay, she's working and it was allowed and I think what we think and we create around us really helps us to get there. So I think that the naysayers, when they say women can't do it, or you have other responsibilities, I think everything just gets balanced sometime or the other. And then, so I will backtrack a little bit to what are the key points. So one is obviously resilience, which I just spoke about, where if you believe you can do it, you can do it. And there's always people who will tell you that you can't do this as a woman, you can't do this as a manufacturer, you can't be the Chinese, you can't be, you're not so good at numbers, you're not so good at design, you're not so good at this, you don't have deep pockets. All of these things put together can keep pulling you down. But what you need to keep doing, most importantly in life, in the first 1 hour of your day, is spend time with yourself, whether you're walking or you're running or you're swimming or whatever form of physical exercise you do, merging that with motivating yourself, your mind to, I can do it. I think it happened with me very automatically, because when I flunked in my first year of college, I was like, I got to do something. I can't be a failure. I can't be looking at myself that, like this. And that's when it happened to me automatically. But I think today, it's not so recent. This has happened like way long back, to be almost 40 years ago. So 40 years I've been running the brand Baggett. But today I can say that there are still bumps that come, but I'm always keeping myself in the motivational space and keeping myself out there to recover faster, keep my self-motivation up there and out there.